Hello, it's Nellie. I just wanted to make this video because I've never done a book haul before and I have 8 new books to show you because I have absolutely no self-control. I also usually don't film like this, but now you get to see all the weird stuff I have in the background, all my posters. I guess Wicked, Harry Potter, Alice in Wonderland aren't that weird, but this Bratz poster, not really proud of it. The other day I had my new freshman orientation for college, and while I was there they gave us these like 20% off coupons for the student bookstore. So my mom and I went to the bookstore to see what they had, and they had sweatshirts and obviously books and electronics and stuff. Well, I can't walk into a bookstore without walking out without something, so I picked up 2 books while I was there. Please bear with me if I mess up or don't seem all that interesting, because I've never done a book haul before. The first book I picked up in the student bookstore is Sing You Home by Jodi Picoult. I love Jodi Picoult books. I loved My Sister's Keeper, and I started reading another Jodi Picoult book that I never finished. I feel like I've read another one, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. So when I saw this in the bookstore, I had to pick it up. All I really know about it is I believe this is her novel about gay marriage. I know she wrote a book about gay marriage, and I think this is it. The next book I got in the student bookstore is The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. I have heard absolutely amazing things about Sylvia Plath, and we discussed her a bit in my psychology class when we were talking about mental health disorders and things of that nature. The main reason I picked this up was because it has literally been sitting in the bookstore since August. And I went there in October, and I saw this in the bookstore. I was there the other day, and it was still in the bookstore. Sometimes forget books are just stacks of paper that have been tainted with ink and that they don't actually have feelings. So I felt bad for this book, so I had to pick it up. I have The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath because I forget books don't have feelings. I also live really close to a used bookstore. I decided I was gonna go check it out to see what I found, and I found entirely too many things. The thing I found was The Angel Experiment from the Maximum Ride series. I've heard that booktubers kind of have one book series that they kind of just love and gravitate towards, and I love Harry Potter because who doesn't, and Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Ransom Riggs, but those two are really popular, and I don't know any booktubers who like Maximum Ride. I read the first 3 Maximum Ride books when I was in junior high, and now I just graduated from high school and I'm going on to college, so I wanted to finish the series. But I also just have this thing where I have to have a copy of every book in a series that I like. So I had to pick up the first Maximum Ride book, which reminds me that the other day I decided to go to Barnes & Noble. I needed to pick up something for a friend, and while I was there, I had to get a book for myself because I wanted to finish the Maximum Ride series. I picked up The Final Warning from the Maximum Ride series, and it's just such a beautiful cover, and it's so pretty. The thing that bothers me is that I think the books got a cover redesign because these two look absolutely nothing alike, and that bothers me so much that they're not more similar. In case you don't know, the Maximum Ride series is a series about kids with wings. Yeah, winged children. I don't want to get too much more into it because it's really complicated to explain, and there would be a lot of spoilers. That's the basics, is that there's these 6 kids with wings, and their names are Max, so Maximum, Fang, Iggy, Nudge, the Gas Man, and Angel. And it's a great series. I read the first 3. I really want to get the entire series, so if anyone wants to gift me the other 6 books, you can, and I'm actually not really joking about that. The names of the books in the series are The Angel Experiment, School's Out Forever, Saving the World and Other Extreme Sports, The Final Warning, Max, Fang, Angel, and Nevermore. If you want to gift me any of those that I don't already own, please do so. But at this used bookstore, I originally went in to get this book, which is Across the Universe by Beth Revis, I think is how you say her name. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. My problem is that the cover that I found was absolutely beautiful because it was, you know, the silhouette of 2 people looking like they're about to kiss with, you know, like the galaxy behind them. And I think they got a cover redesign because this is not as beautiful. I don't know, I'm kind of have mixed feelings about this cover. I would have preferred the other one, I think, but this was the only copy the store had. I'm not going to complain because they did have the book and that was what I wanted. I've also heard a lot of people raving about Sarah Dessen, so I picked up That Summer by Sarah Dessen. I'm not entirely sure what this one's about either. I mean, it's a love story, I know that much. And I know it's about a past love coming back. I'm not sure too much other than that, except that Sarah Dessen is apparently a great romance writer for teens. People have recommended I read a Sarah Dessen book, so I picked up That Summer. They told me to pick up this other one that I don't remember the name of, but it just, reading the back of the book, it did not interest me, whereas That Summer kind of got my interest. I've also been wanting to read this book since junior high, so I decided to pick it up, and that is Hush Hush by Becca oh my gosh. Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. I've heard that it's very similar to Twilight, and I did not like Twilight all that much, so I'm a little nervous, but I have been wanting to read this one for a while, so I decided I would give it a go. I kind of like going into books not knowing too much about them, so I tried not to read like spoilers or reviews and stuff unless I'm really on the fence about whether or not to get the book. But I know a lot of people like Hush Hush, and so I decided I was going to try it too. The last book was a book I've been trying to read for a while. It's a Jodi Picoult book, like I mentioned earlier, and I got it from my library a while ago, and I read the first like 50%, I think, of the book, around that number, and then I had to turn it into the library because it was past due, and I actually have a fear of libraries, which is a discussion for another time. I did not want to go in and renew the book. I just dropped it off at the book return thing outside. When I saw it at the used bookstore, I decided I had to pick it up because I have been wanting to finish this for so long. I started reading it back in October. Now it's July and I haven't finished it. So the name of the book is Handle with Care by Jodi Picoult. It's about a family and they have a little girl who has a disease called osteogenesis imperfecta, basically brittle bone disease. The main reason I wanted to read it is because I have a really good friend named Lucy who also has osteogenesis imperfecta, also known as OI, and I just wanted to kind of get a taste of what her life is like. There are some parts in this where I feel like it's probably exaggerated. I don't want to ask her and tell her that I'm reading a book about her condition because I would feel really awkward doing that. I don't think I'm going to ask her if everything in this book is completely factual. Alright, thanks for watching. So here is my huge stack of new books. I'm going to take forever to read these. I can just feel it. No, books are totally worth it. If you've read any of these, leave your comments about them down in the doobly-doo. If you have any books you think I should read, also leave it down in the doobly-doo. You can add me on Goodreads, follow me on Twitter. Stay awesome.